Hello, my name is Dan Ackers and I write The Adaptive Human. Recently I went back and reread the very first piece I posted on Substack, and it made me think of some people I knew before and how much those people have changed how I saw life without really ever trying to. And this piece feels connected to that somehow. This piece is called The Feeling That Another Life Was Possible. When I was younger, I met a few people who stayed with me long after our interactions ended. At the time, I remember thinking they were just interesting people. They were people with energy and direction, the kind of people who seemed more alive than most other adults around me. I remember how easily they spoke about things that mattered to them. They weren't performing or trying to impress anyone. I remember them just being honest. Honest about what they had done with their lives. Honest about mistakes they had made. About the risks they had taken. And about walking away from things that looked right on paper, even when others didn't understand why. I didn't realize it until much later that they were changing how I saw life, or how I would see myself. Thinking about it now, I do believe some part of me was recognizing something I didn't yet know how to articulate back then. That a person didn't always have to follow the expected path. That a life could slowly become more their own. That the path didn't have to be perfect or fully figured out, only genuinely theirs. Now, years later, I find myself remembering some of those conversations on occasion. And I find myself smiling when I realize how right they were. Lately, I've also started to notice something else. Back then, I only remembered thinking about what those conversations meant to me. I never really thought much about what those people themselves may have felt in those moments. Now that I'm older, I think I understand it a little better. There's something meaningful about speaking honestly with someone who is still trying to figure themselves out. Not to give advice or trying to shape them into anything. Just showing them through your own life that another way of living is possible. I think some of those conversations stayed with me because they carried that feeling quietly underneath them. And because of that, I hope I will be able to give someone else that same feeling someday. The feeling that life can become something more honest than the version you inherited by default. That it's okay for a life to slowly become more your own. I think this piece reminded me that some people leave traces in us long before we realize it. And sometimes we notice ourselves trying to pass some small part of that forward. If this piece felt familiar to you, you can find more of my writing at The Adaptive Human on Substack. Until next time, thank you for listening.